Okay. Okay. So JavaScript is really an influential scripting language, but it's easy to learn. And once you learn it, you can do just about anything you want on the internet. You can go to create websites, you can create effects, you can create AI with it. Because basically, like JavaScript, the way it loops is basically like everything in programming. So right now, I just asked ChatGPT, can you tell me the main purpose for JavaScript? And it just came up with some. JavaScript is a versatile programming language primarily used for creating dynamic and interactive content on websites. Client-side scripting. Yeah, I'm just going to be going over a lot of things because I was going to get into coding. So I'm going to be going over like the introduction to it very fast. Client-side scripting. JavaScript is mainly executed on client browsers, enabling dynamic updates and modifications to web pages without requiring a full page reload. So basically, everything is happening on the page right in front of you. You don't have to reload the page. Everything will happen during JavaScript when you're using JavaScript. Web development, everybody using web development, making their websites for buttons, for different activities on the web page. You want to do something, you want to search something up without having to refresh the web page. This is how we did it before. They had a lot of different frameworks. We just used raw JavaScript through all the programming. Now, I asked GPT, can you give me a JavaScript button? Okay, can you write me a simple JavaScript button script that turns a button blue when I click on it? Okay, it turns the button blue when I click on it. So GPT writing me up a little script. We got this right here for the JavaScript, some HTML and some CSS. But the JavaScript basically have a function of change color, variable button equals document.get element by ID my button, and it just changes blue when it's clicked. Okay, we're gonna check this out. Take the code over to my development over here. Just open up the folder right here and click it. And if y'all want to speak on anything, y'all can talk to ask to unmute, ask to unmute. All right. Index. Just click on here to go see the code in the browser. See, click me, and it should turn white. I'm not sure if this code turns back. As you can see, the JavaScript code is working. Once I click the button, it turned white. Now I asked the ChatGPT for a different thing. I said, oh yeah, I had to ask how did I see this browser. I didn't use JavaScript in a long time, so a lot of things with JavaScript you'll forget, but it's easy to remember once you get back to it. But a lot of things like how to even see it in the browser might pop up in your head sometimes. Because I deal with a lot of code during the day. I must have code 24 hours a day. Okay, I showed it the code that I had. And now, can you set up two buttons that when one is clicked, it changes the other one into a different color. And when the one click, it turns the other one a color. Basically, the buttons for work for each other. So basically, you click in each button for each other. So one, if you click one button, the other button turns the color. If you click one button, the other button turns the color. So basically, I just asked ChatGPT, can you make this for me? And this is the code that it gave me. I should already have it in index 2 right here. Go here, click on it. Okay, we should have the two buttons. Click me, that should change. Click me, that should change. And there's a loop too. Once I have it in a loop, then it goes automatically. You don't have to really fix it, but as you can see, it's probably like a way you can always trick the system or even the code need to be perfected because the way you design for users is always important in that instance. Okay, let me get back to ChatGPT. We only got about 40 minutes, so I'm gonna have to hit everybody this all fast. Sorry if I'm acting fast. Let me stop 2 seconds. I'm sorry, guys, and I want to make sure everybody was on Instagram. I'm gonna go live to anyone else getting on here. Okay, I'm gonna just went live on Instagram just to see if we can get anybody else in the building. Okay, what code is this? Okay, this was that. Can you explain this code to me? I don't know what I just did with that one. I think I just asked, oh, okay. I went to some old circular text code that we worked on about 2 years ago for the circular text app. So we go here, it's a JavaScript. Let me drop that. I should have that one. 2 seconds. As you can see, we have something going on with the text. Every time I hover over the text, it moves, or it's just moving, it's going ghost from above. So that takes all code. I think I don't use too much JavaScript with this code, or I do, but in the HTML, the CSS is where most of it is happening. In JavaScript and CSS is basically the same thing when it comes to coding and programming different certain elements like this text. But as you can see, this would be like a JavaScript thing. I can ask ChatGPT to turn this into JavaScript and it will turn into JavaScript code. But I wouldn't ask for the whole thing. Okay, we have a letter. We have the sections or the attributes on the letters. That's in the HTML. Then we have the timing script. This, matter of fact, it is JavaScript in this code. Right here is a time text script. It set my timeout. My timeout 1, it's like 1 second. My timeout 2, that's like 2 seconds. My timeout 3 is like 3 seconds, and so on. Let me make sure that everything is going right. Make sure everybody can hear me. I don't know where that little pop-up thing goes. Okay. As you can see, set timeout in JavaScript could be beneficial to a lot of things with coding, where you can make a button using set timeout, and that's what I did with ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to make me a button with different things. I said, "What is the JavaScript?" Oh, before that, I'm gonna get into a little bit of the JavaScript industry and how things are going and what this code could be used for. What is JavaScript used for in the industry? Why? In coding, what type of apps are built with JavaScript mainly? JavaScript is versatile programming language, widely used, various industry, develop a range of applications. Some prominent industry use cases, types of application built with JavaScript include front-end development, like websites, HTML, CSS, frameworks, libraries, so APIs and stuff. Server-side development, Node.js. I use Node.js for my development on YouTube all the time with circular text apps. If you follow me, mobile app development, React Native, Apache, Cordova, game development. You know, you use JavaScript and nodes with Effect House to make viral effects. I made a couple viral effects with circular text this year. The Super Bowl effect that use nodes where it's basically JavaScript connecting to each other, basically loops through JavaScript. Once I learned JavaScript, I knew I would be able to use the nodes and do things with the nodes that I really didn't think I could do. Somebody sent something through the chat. Thanks, brother. Okay, desktop applications, backend service, REST APIs. That's a lot of things I want to get into too. I want to start learning more about API systems and building different APIs for my applications. Data visualization, real-time application, WebSocket and Socket IO, Internet of Things, cloud computing. You know, cloud computing, that's one of the biggest things in the industry right now. People making millions of dollars just being cloud computing developers. Okay, I'll say, okay, for a more complex JavaScript example, can you give me two buttons? One button turns a div, an empty color container in red, and the other button turns it blue. So one button turns the empty container red, the other one turns the container blue. Let's see the code for that. I think that was 3 in mine. Okay, it should be 3. Okay, so it should turn it red if I click this one. It should turn it blue if I click this one. Let me show you a little bit about the code before I just go into the tutorial. Because sometimes coding could be fun once you really like start playing with it and developing different things. As you can see, got two on-click buttons right here. This is the button and the function, I think it's right here, on-click, change color, on-click, change color, blue and red. We have the container down here, container style, function, change color, and the color, red or blue. So it should work, everything cool looking right. So I say turn red, turn blue, turn red, turn blue, turn red, turn blue. And it's simple as that. I asked ChatGPT for it. Back in the day, I would have had to like code it. It would have took around the same amount of time, but right now, if I didn't know anything and I can ask ChatGPT it, I could just ask GPT it without even knowing JavaScript and get it down. And once I start playing with it, then I can understand what I'm doing. So let me go back here. I have ChatGPT. And as you can see, that's what I asked Chat. Certainly, here's a more complex JavaScript example with 2 buttons that can toggle the color of the container. I mean, asking it right off the bat, these are small things like buttons. This is simple things that you want to start with, like small buttons and reactions from buttons. So I went on with that. He explains the code. ChatGPT, this HTML includes 2 buttons. Explain what I just basically explained to y'all, but in like a more base way. Now, can you add a timer on a button to turn it blue? It has to wait 5 seconds. Okay. Now I want to add a timer on a button that takes 5 seconds and it turns blue. So I'll use this code. Go here, index 4. As you can see, the code is right here. Want to go down to the JavaScript. This is the delay for 5 seconds, 500 milliseconds. Set timeout function, change blue. It should be oh, it just say it. It should be oh, right here. I'm sorry. At the bottom of the loop, that's where you see the seconds at. I can change this to anything I want, any seconds I want. This is 5 seconds. This will be 10 seconds. But right now I have 5 seconds, so when you click the blue button, it turns blue after 5 seconds. Okay. Is it 4 or 5? I'm not sure. I think I already even had it up. Oh yeah, blue with timer, so red, turn blue. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but then it's gonna turn, as you can see. And you can do this, repeat it. It's always in a loop, so the loop is important to understand when you code. It's always good to understand the loop and how to code with a loop. Okay, I got this right here. Let me move this. Now I want to go to a different type of thing. No, I want the JavaScript code. Sometimes ChatGPT start messing up and throwing a lot of other things in code and giving you errors out of the blue. But you want to fight through them errors, you want to keep coding. So the button that turns it red is automatic, but the button to turn it blue should take 5 seconds, right? And told me what's going on and gave me the code. Also, I want a timer interview. If anything is not clicked for 10 seconds, the container go back to white. So if anything is not clicked in 10 seconds, the container will go back to the original color. Now, I shouldn't have copied it. It's 5. Okay. So we turn it blue. In 10 seconds, it should turn back to the original color, white. I can even turn it red right now. Oh yeah, I gotta still wait 10 seconds because of the timer. Every time it's clicked, gotta wait 10 more seconds. You see how that works? And as you can see, you can build little games with JavaScript where you have like a game where it's like just a cool puzzle. You can just make different puzzles and just keep building on stuff like this with JavaScript. It's simple to do, real simple to do. This basically beginners JavaScript. And in a little bit, I will give you more tutorials. This is just all the code, the CSS code, HTML. A lot of people get scared when they see a lot of code like this, but it's all different functions that function well. As you can see, the code just is regular. You have 2 timeouts, a couple elements, nothing certain. You can modify. Okay. Now I want a JavaScript code that makes the container a little bigger every time the blue button is clicked. Also wait for 5 seconds to get a little bigger. So basically it should grow about 3 pixels all around for every click. So what I said to ChatGPT is I want div the container to grow every time I click the blue button. So it grows every time I click the blue button, but it doesn't grow every time I click the red button. But you gotta remember, you gotta wait 5 seconds when I click the blue button, so I can't just keep clicking it and it grows. So I'm gonna go here and click the blue button, and it should wait 5 seconds, and it grows in 5 seconds. And I think this is also the last script where it goes back to the original after the 5 seconds. I can change it, I can click it again. Or after the 10 seconds, when I say go back to the color to change back to the original color, it changes back to the original thing. See, it just went all the way back down to the original size. Okay, now I'm gonna step it up to a little bit more advanced JavaScript theme using this code pen and discuss on how things are going with the JavaScript in this code pen. Okay, let me go back to this. I'll find a different one. We're going to do that one. Okay, I want to do this one. I think you click on this one and it does something. Okay. The appearance of the thing changes and it has a JavaScript that makes it move back and forth. So we're doing 2 things with 2 JavaScripts. One JavaScript is moving it back and forth, and one JavaScript is changing the appearance of it, making it change its HTML element. Some buttons are, some letters are going to change colors. Some are getting bigger, some are getting smaller. Okay, this is a real complex system of JavaScript that we used 2 years ago to design circulartextapp and the interaction of text being digitally manipulated with JavaScript, because in the future JavaScript will turn into AI and AI can manipulate easy with code using JavaScript. But right now, as you can see, the words look is crazy and out of whack. But all this is still code, and we can just discuss the different code that's going on. We have a timer script. I think this is when click. This is when the buttons originally change. this JavaScript goes off. This is one thing basically. Time text 2 times. This should be in the HTML at the beginning, right here. And when click, it runs. And it looks like it should go around. But right now, there's so much other things going on in the code. It might not be reading what's going on. But it should be reading unless it's located somewhere else. There it go right there. Okay, this is for the other JavaScript that makes it move left and right. And this JavaScript lives in its own file. This was on the HTML. You can save your JavaScript inside the HTML or in its own file. That's more the technical aspect of JavaScript and not the fundamentals of JavaScript. It's real easy to learn the technical aspects of JavaScript online, but the fundamentals of how different people use the JavaScript is like what I want to teach today. Okay, it's a crazy loop. There's a lot of different things with this. We can read it out. This is the plugin. This is defining the layout, final plane, columns, grid, document query selector, the container. It's indexing it at 1. And I wrote this about 2 years ago with the company. I remember writing it, but I think I got a lot of this code from CodePen and just was altering the different our code with it, our circular text code for the words. I was using other people's code to manipulate it, coming up with different structures for that, as you can see in different tutorials. Let's go back here though. But this tutorial, if you can understand the code, it takes time to really look at code and really start explaining it. And I wasn't on for 2 years, so I can't get on and be like, oh yeah, this does that, this does that, this does that. I can't say that. But I could say, once you looking at it for a while and really pay attention to what you're doing and start remembering what's going on, you see the numbers, and you can change it. You know what's all the code there for this. That's why this generation of coders is real easy for new learners to learn a lot of things because y'all have ChatGPT and different AI systems that you don't really have to look at the code. You can just tell AI what you want, it gives you code, you can just implement it into your system. And just keep doing that, and you can just build something very complex just doing that. But this is different codes that's making it different things. Say stagger 0.05, so it means staggering every 1.05 seconds, duration, just different JavaScript handles coming together. I'm trying to see how this all works, but I can't really even figure it out. I've been not on this for so long. But this is more advanced JavaScript. That's why I wanted to bring it here. But if I go, I can figure it out actually. What I do is copy, take it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, can you explain this code for me in detail? Can you explain this code to me in details and sections? I'll take this one. Okay, let me go back to the top. Let's break down the provided code into sections, explain each part in detail. GSAP plugin registration. This is the plugin registration. This line registers the foot plugin from the grass. GSAP. So it's basically a plugin that's giving the code basically its main fundamentals to assist in creating efficient animation by understanding changes in the state of the DOM. Variable declarations, let layout, final plane, column grid. So you just declaring the variables, layout. An array containing class names representing different layouts. Container, a reference to an HTML element with the class container. Current layout, an integer representing the index of the current layout initialized to 1. And a lot of this stuff is really complex, even complex for me. I've been coding for 12 years, but at the same time, the complexity comes where you got to remember different things about JavaScript and different things about this specific language. It's easy to remember the language that you're currently working at. If we were talking Python, I'll give you a million things about Python, but that's the language that I'm currently working in. I've been working in Python for the last couple of months. Before that, I was working in effects department where I was defining effects, and I was working. I can tell you anything about effect house and defining effects and stuff like that. But right now, if you ask me anything about that effects, it was like a little difficult for me to even come up with a couple things. And I might get into that if I got time a little bit later. Effect house and effects is a good platform if you want to build using the JavaScript fundamental tools. If you want to build on top of that, it's a real easy way to do it using nodes. I'm going from complex to beginning, complex to beginning, complex to beginning. I'm sorry. Okay. Where we at? Did you give me the code? Yeah, this is the big code. Next state function. This is the next state function. Basically, everything put together. You should have explained this to me. Oh, dude. Okay, where am I at? Flip from state. Flip animation. It uses flip.from to animate from the previous state to the new state. So it's using flip.from to animate from the previous state to the new state, including absolute positioning, staggering animation, duration, easing, and conditional spinning. Now that's basically where the code is at right here, where you got to change all these things. What's this? We'll say 9 minutes left. Okay, that's cool. Animate from the previous state. We got JavaScript, remove the old layouts. All right, that confused me a little bit. Okay, but basically we got to know what we're doing with the code is flipping this using this JavaScript. If I change up these things, elements, it will change up what's going on in the code. Sometimes I don't really like to change things until I know what I'm changing, but a lot of times you do change things so you can see what it changes. And that's really important when you're coding. Always test out different codes and methods. Don't never stop and just be stagnant on code like, oh shoot, could this do this? And just think, oh no. That's when you want to learn what you want to do. Like when you're done with this, watching this course, I want y'all to go and watch and get on ChatGPT and just learn, just go to JavaScript and just start learning. Okay. It's so easy once you start doing it. It's so fundamental. You start getting the fundamentals of all the coding and everything you can learn with it. Okay, I changed it a little bit. I really don't see the change in it, so I'm gonna just go to another JavaScript. Leave this site. Shouldn't be leaving the site. Let's just flip it in place. I think this changing the color. I think this JavaScript is more simpler and more instructive. I think you just hover over it or click on it and it just change the attributes. It's changing it fast now. I guess it's hover over it. Okay. And this is circular text, something we created inside the group. And we all come together to build this, develop this system. But this is one of the first things that the circular text could do, and it's change elements. It uses all HTML and CSS, as you can see. And these are all on the internet. If y'all want the link, just inbox me. I can give you the link to these code pins. It uses all code to develop the circular text. I don't know why the screen went like this, but basically the code is right here. We're using the code pin, so you can see the code right on the screen. This is the CSS it uses. This is the HTML. As you can see, the letters have its original element, or attributes, like regular letters. So most it's going to just be regular letter spacing 6 pixels, font size 20 pixels, everything got the same size. With circular text is we change the CSS elements on different letters instead of just a whole word. This will we get the whole alterations thing. Okay, and now we have a timing script. Basically, the timing script is up here over the HTML. So when it's clicked, everything runs. And let's say div 1, 2, 3, all the way to div 15. And as you can see, it's right here. Oh no, that's not it. I'm looking for something else. Oh, it's right here. Okay, these are all the timeouts. As you can see, my timeout 1 is at the 1 second. It goes right here. This is what I want happening with the JavaScript. So at 1 second in the JavaScript, this is what happens to the element. It changes sizes from 20 to 27. It changes the font color. It just it does different things to different levels. As you can see, it say div 1 8 on, div 9 not on. So it should be a div 9 element, a div 8 element on somewhere. I'm over here pointing at the screen, like y'all can see me pointing. Div, okay, yeah, you can see it right here, div 7 on, div 6 on, different elements like that. When how the JavaScript changes it. And the JavaScript just clicks on one of these elements, and the second that it needs to click on it, where we place right here, we set the timeout with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it moves right here. It uses the timer to move like this. And once you click on it or you hover it, as you can see, it's going crazy and it's a little faster than I thought it should be. But let me try to inspect it and see what's going on. That's a lot of things you can do is always inspect your code. Okay, there we go. I want to just see it. There we go. Okay. So I'll go back to it. As you can see in the code, the JavaScript moves things on the screen simultaneously. You don't have to go into the browser and refresh the page or nothing. It just does everything on the screen. And it's really fast. Very fast code, very important code that people use every day for different applications. And you literally can see how the text changes using the JavaScript to the HTML being changed. I'm not sure if you can see the JavaScript working in this way. That might be a little bit more complex. It's something that they should be having very soon with how AI is doing code and treating different aspects of coding. Okay, what's this? Oh, yeah, this is code thing. Okay, we got 3 minutes left. I wanted to say thanks for coming today and thanks for learning in this small course. I want to start courses up. Please share with anybody you know that want to know anything about development. And soon I want to work with everybody. So I'm teaching people to really like learn a lot of things I learned, learn the way I learned. I want other people to have courses too and teach their way of coding. And we all can have courses together and just have different things and different aspects of coding and really could like come together in these courses and teach and learn. I'm teaching, I'm learning every day. If I got a little bit of time, I can just show y'all what I'm working on right now with developing for circular text with AI. As you see, I don't want to get into too many details, but as you can see, it gets real complex. And this is like a training model that I'm working on. This is just the data I got right now. But if you know anything about data, data goes on for a long time. So I want to eventually to have more data With circle text, is a lot of digital data you can put into the letters and the words to make it look different. But the final thing I want is the AI to make its own digital designs. And I'm not sure if I have any digital designs up already, except for these in the code pen. Let me take off this. Okay. But y'all seen the design once you click on it, but it's like most circle text was built on design before even the clicking actually happened. It was just a text designed on just having a different appearance, but using the same code. As you see, is in this sentence right here. This don't have no clicking function, it's just built different. And it's basically the same code, so it can go anywhere on the internet. It can be anywhere on the internet. It can be implemented anywhere online through code. All right, thanks guys. Let's wrap it up. Had a good first course. Thanks, my man Shahan. Jamie, I don't know if you can speak. Ask to unmute if you want to say anything. But thanks for coming. I should have our next course in the next couple of days. This was a long one. I think I recorded this so everybody will be able to see this. I think I'll put it on YouTube or something. But thanks for everybody who come and who showed and supported.